Hi, I'm Kayla Cardio, and I'm going to show you how to apply your new Seint makeup using only the 3D brush, or we used to call it the 30-second hack brush because it is the OG, our original brush. I love that our brushes are double-ended, and you can do your entire face with this. So honestly, the order doesn't matter, so don't stress out. The big rule of thumb is go light with the light color and dark with the dark colors. You want more contour than you think and less of your highlight colors than you think. I promise. So many people are so used to so much makeup on their face that I think they're just not ready for how little you can do if you have the right colors. If you're having to use a lot of makeup to achieve the color you want, you need to go with a darker color, even though you don't think so. So I'm gonna start with some contour. Now, you've probably seen the TikToks and the reels of this makeup being finger painted on, or like a real kind of dramatic view of where it goes. But with this brush, I tend to just blend as I go. So I'm gonna start with a contour and just kind of fill in my forehead. Now, I have a large forehead, so you may not have as much as me. So pretty much you're just gonna go, I'd say an inch or less above your eyebrows. Okay, so maybe your forehead starts here, so you won't do very much. But you see, I'm just blending as I go. I'm not doing a ton of product. If you're not used to a product with a cream finish and you're used to a matte finish, you're welcome to set this with powder, but honestly, this just looks like my skin. So if you look at my skin beforehand, skin is made up of oil. It's got a layer of oil, right? So it's shiny. And now when I put that on there, it still just looks like my skin. Okay, so you can bring that down a little bit along your temples. Eventually, we're just doing this contour in a 3 shape. So it'll go on our cheekbones and then under our jawline. Sometimes I squeeze the brush to get into the color that I want a little bit more. I'm just feeling where my jawline is, my natural jaw. See, I'm feeling that bone, and then I can feel it kind of stop. So that's where I stop. Or you can use your pupils as a guideline. You're not going to go past your pupils. If you want your face slimmer, you're going to keep those at a downward angle. If you want your face more broad, maybe you have a very narrow face, then you're going to make it more horizontal. Just like when you wear stripes, it's going to make you look wider, right? So put that there. Now, I want to see how crazy it looks. I want you to look crazy. If you don't look crazy, when you start blending, it's not going to be enough. So dark with that dark color. Again, I'm pinching that brush to pick up the product that I want. I'm finding my jaw, and you can tap on it. Or as you get faster, you know this makeup is fast. That's why we like it. You can end up going fast. And that's going to blend it a little more as you go when you drag it. But when I'm putting it specifically in the right place, I do kind of like to stipple that on. Just so that I know, especially when I'm using this brush, because I typically would not use this brush to contour. I use the detail brush. That is a great second brush to add. Remember, if you refer 1 to 3 friends who order Seint, you're gonna get that brush free. So I mean, just sending a before and after to your mom, your sister, your bestie. Reach out to your artist and ask how you can do that. Get that free. And I don't put a ton under my jawline, but I just kind of start down at the ear and get this little area and then pull it under. Some people choose to go under the chin. It really depends on your face shape, whether that accentuates it or helps it, but I like to sharpen that jawline right there. And then we're basically done with contour. We'll come back in just a second. While I'm already doing it and have it pinched, and I actually like to switch to a cooler contour, but if you just have your one, that's fine. I go under my lip, and that's gonna make it look like a shadow, like my lip is sticking out more, like it's fuller. So I go there. Okay, now let's jump into the other side of the brush, and I'm gonna look for anything that I wanna color correct. So I'm gonna use my very darkest color, which I know you're used to using concealer, which is lighter. And look for my darkest color, and I'm just getting this really fine little point that's on here. I'm just kind of stippling out anywhere I want more coverage. That might be in this line under eye. A lot of times I touch my nose a lot, so I got some redness there. So we're just kind of camouflaging and making sure the area that we want covered is covered. Do that, anything that you see, that's just a tiny spot. Also, skincare is important for your makeup. Remember, there may be an adjustment period for your skin as it figures out a new makeup. All right, anything else you see, you can hit with that darkest color. I always recommend getting 3 highlights if you can, because then you'll have a summer color, you'll have like a camouflage color, you'll always have the right color. Okay, so I've done my darkest color. which is my main highlight shade, or one darker to camouflage anything I don't want. And then I actually like to go in with my main shade next. So this is my main highlight, so not my brightening highlight, so not the lightest one, but the one that matches the majority of your face. And I'm gonna fill that in the area where a man would have a beard, like as high up as a beard could go, so pretty much to your contour line, pretty much everywhere you haven't contoured. Going around my mouth. And do you see how little, like I'm tapping it one time. It does not take a lot, it should not feel heavy. I want you to see how little product I'm putting on my face. Every time I do a makeover on someone, they're like, oh, like you really are really light-handed. You are barely using anything. I don't feel this. And if you have the right colors, you shouldn't have to. So if your color looks too dark for you, first try not putting on so much. All right, I'm gonna give my nose a nice good base layer before we contour it. Once I have it on my nose, I'll spread it slightly under eye. I'm just getting off what's on the rest of the brush, but I want hardly any product in that under eye area. And I'm filling in all the way to the contour, but I mean, I'm talking almost nothing. You see, I did my nose first, and that was just what was left over on the brush. Okay, super little product. I go ahead and put some on my eyelids. I'm just, like I said, wiping off what's on the brush after I did my nose. Okay, now we can do our brightening highlight. So I'm gonna go, you can see, I'm really running low on that. Need to get some more. So I'm gonna take that brighter color and I'm gonna put it right back here against that contour line. I'm not actually gonna put, if you put a color that's too light under your eyes or wherever you have texture, anytime you put a color that's too light, anywhere on your skin, it's actually gonna show texture. It's not gonna last as long. So you're gonna draw attention to fine lines, to wrinkles, anything like that, to texture if you have a pimple, okay? So you do not want a color that's too light. Now we wanna brighten with it, so I'm gonna go the inner corners of my eyes, but I'm not just gonna like fill in my whole dark circle with it. You can use this other side for your smaller kind of area. And I like to do the inner corners. Kind of drawing that along the side of my nose, but I'm not dragging it along my whole circle. Basically did my outer corner, inner corner. I'm using white peach just for reference. And my main highlight color was June. And I believe I used henna contour today. So just in case you want to know what colors I use. I also like to take that brightening highlight and do a little bit under my brow bone. Now, obviously, I'm walking you through this today, so it's taking longer. You know that this is the 30-second hack brush. So once you understand the placement, you can do this in 4 minutes, easy. I'm also gonna take that brightening color and give myself a little, so anything that you want to stand out, right? Because light colors reflect light. So this is where the attention's gonna go. So I have a super small upper lip, so I would like to try to draw a little attention to that Cupid's bow. Now look. Then we can just take our other side and blend it around so it won't look so crazy. I can add slightly more under that eye, but remember I put down a little bit of that June first, my main highlight color. So I'm so lightly touching this. I like to use the blend brush for this, but since we just got the 30-second hack, that's what we're working with, the 3D brush, then we'll make do with what we have. I mean, I wish you could, I'm barely touching product and barely lighten that up. Even if you feel like that's your main area that you need coverage, try it with a little product. When the rest of your face, when it's bright back here, you're not gonna need that. So you can add a little more back there if you want for some extra brightness. You can do a little chin if you like your chin to pull forward a little. So anything that you do bright is gonna reflect light. That's what's gonna get the attention. And then the dark is absorbing light. So it's either creating dimension or not. Now, to do my nose contour, I'm gonna take this pointed end of the brush, I'm gonna squeeze it, and then it makes a nice little line. I put it right down. Again, I like the cooler contour for this. I do switch, but it doesn't matter. You can use the one you have. And we're just gonna draw 2 lines. You could also do this with your fingers. Totally fine as well. So you can just take your fingers, stick it in and make a line. And the biggest thing is that we don't want these lines to go apart at the bottom. That's gonna make the bottom of our nose look bigger. Like if you draw your lines and they're going opposite ways at the bottom, you wanna see that line from the front. You don't wanna see it from the side, so we'll blend it down a little bit on the sides. And basically it just narrowed out the bridge of my nose. There's advanced nose contouring you can do, but basically the rule of thumb, you're creating shadow or dimension. Some people make a little button nose, they draw the line across there, darken in this area. But if you like what, so let's say you got wide part on this part of your nose, or this is the part of your nose you don't like, then shadow those, right? Whatever you don't want to stand out, darken it. And then we can go back in that color, the white peach or your light color, and go up between those two dark lines for a little extra pop. So now it's like, oh, my nose is this tiny little thing over here. Okay, and lastly, we're just gonna add our blush. What color do I wanna do today? I've been loving candy. And notice I'm not cleaning my brush between all this. I'm not, and blush placement tends to be a preference, so you can do what you like. I like to go right over top of the contour line and just add that on. So yeah, I'm not, now if I use something very vibrant, then next time before I go in and do my makeup, I'll make sure and wipe this off. Our brush cleaner is very important. You're gonna eat product if you have buildup in your brush, and also it's just not sanitary. So until you get some of that, which it smells amazing by the way, and makes all your makeup smell amazing, you can use just rubbing alcohol in water, put it in a little spray bottle, or plug up your sink with some water and rubbing alcohol and dip a washcloth in it, wring it out, and rub your brush in circles on it. And then it's dry and you can immediately use it. So there we go. I've got my, this is Candy Lip and Cheek. And remember, it works on your lips as well. You can always contour your lips as far as line them with your contour. I'm gonna use sandstone on my lips. And then we're out of here, ready to take on the day. Always reach out if you have any questions. Send a picture after your first application so you can get some pointers. Honestly, there's a learning curve, so give yourself a minute. I'm gonna go in and add some fun stuff like Illuminator, which you can just do with your finger. And that's about it. I love our balm, so I top my lip color with that. It's actually in the demi section, but it smells so good. But yeah, fun stuff like that. If you need setting powder, use whatever setting powder you have. And then eventually, when you run out of that, you can come grab some from Seint, because it is convenient how it pops in your compact. I definitely recommend for your second brush, the detail brush. And then if you can grab the blush and bronzer brush eventually, it comes with the bronzer for only $4. And that's amazing because it's this big fluffy brush, and I tend to use that to like pull down my neck and make sure my neck is, you know, a big contrast between my neck and my face. But here's what it looks like. Thanks for sticking in. Sorry, I know this took a long time. As I explained it, I'm a teacher. I tend to over-explain, but you're gonna get way faster. Maybe I'll show you a video of how fast you can do it and attach that to this one. Have a good one.